Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Coriander, we've got Friday the 13th news.
Yes, we do.
So, look, man, and I just saw this just a couple hours ago. The lawsuit is finally over,
Yeah.
and
Can you
hopefully,
believe it?
I
How
can't
long
believe
was
it.
this going? How long was
Yeah,
this lawsuit going?
it's been going on for a couple of years, and it's
Yeah.
been the main obstacle in getting a new Friday 13th movie. And Yeah, I look, I'm just hoping that this really opens the door a lot more on the possibility of getting a new movie soon. But
Yeah.
this was all referenced from Bloody Disgusting. So let's just check out this article. I wanted to share this with people because for me it was fantastic news.
Yeah.
Um, it starts off with saying Friday the 13th screenwriter Victor Miller wins copyright termination appeal to reclaim the domestic rights. And the article, and I believe this article was from maybe about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours ago, but
Hmm.
it says we've been waiting 2 years now for an update on the next step in the Friday the 13th legal battle that has been raging on for several years now. And we finally have one today. First, let's take a minute with a brief little recap of the situation. And it says, ever since a judge ruled back in 2018 that Friday the 13th screenwriter Victor Miller is the sole owner of the original screenplay in the US, Friday director Sean Cunningham has been working to have the decision reversed. The argument continues to be that Miller wrote the screenplay as a work for hire and therefore never should have been able to gain rights to the screenplay in the first place. While the trial judge had ruled that the rights go to Miller after all these years under the Copyright Act's termination right, which allows authors to regain rights to work they signed over to a company, Cunningham and Horror Inc. were hoping that the Second Circuit Court of Appeals would end up reversing that decision. So this thing has been going on and on with Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham. This is so crazy, man. Um,
Yeah, it is.
and it's too
And
bad.
disappointing.
Very
Exactly,
disappointing.
because we haven't had a Jason movie in how long? A long
Thir
friggin'
thir
time.
thir 13 years. Hey,
Exactly.
13 years. That's good.
Exactly. Right?
Uh, it says the Second Circuit was tasked with deciding if Miller will keep the rights to the Friday screenplay as decided in 2018 or if they'll revert back to Cunningham and Horror Inc. Mind you, there still be a whole lot to be worked through before Jason can return to the screen, no matter the decision. But this is one massive legal hurdle that needed to be resolved first. So,
Nice.
in other words, it basically is saying that we're much, much closer to this thing finally happening as far as getting a new
Yeah.
Friday the 13th movie. And you basically have Victor Miller who retains the rights to the title Friday the 13th and everything that
Hmm.
was in the original movie,
Hmm.
whereas the adult Jason. The hockey mask and all that type of stuff, again, is really under Sean Cunningham and Horror Inc. And I'll be
Yes.
honest, man, this thing is
Nice.
so ridiculous. It
Yeah, it
really
is.
is. Let me just see who we have in the chat here before I give some more of my opinions on it because it's unbelievable. Eric's in the chat saying, "I'm just wondering now, does that mean we only get stuff Victor created or not? Meaning we can only get Mrs. Voorhees and young dead Jason. Copyright is a tricky deal. As far as I understand, anything beyond the first movie we can get as far as what I understand, Eric, and I could be wrong on this. There's so many, like you were saying, it's so tricky. But from what I understand, everything that I've read, and even before this news broke, it's basically a question of the first movie and everything in that first movie belonging to Victor Miller, and everything beyond that with the adult Jason, the hockey mask, and so
That's
forth.
great.
Well, I mean, that's really the franchise right there, to be
It
honest. I mean,
is.
and
It
we're
is.
huge fans of the franchise, but let's just be real, you know.
Jason,
Um,
Jason makes that franchise. So
yeah,
this is
yeah,
exciting, man.
yeah. I mean, come on. Junebug was saying he's going to direct Friday the 13th, Part 13. Mark my words.
Nice.
That'd be awesome, man. He
Right?
says, and by the way, if Sean Cunningham appeals, he will get denied because if he goes through the appeal process again, it will go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is not going to take this case. And he says
Mhm.
basically anything Victor created, he owns the rights to. Exactly. And that's
Fine by
exactly,
me, man. You can
yeah,
keep
and
it.
that's exactly the way I understand it too. But anyways, guys, yeah, this article, kind of goes over that, and also the guy who is um, the person that was representing Victor Miller, uh, he's the attorney. He's going to be working on this whole thing with the Marvel characters and their rights. So he's
Nice.
got some big things he's been working on. Um,
Yeah.
but it also says one other thing I want to read from the article. It says this is a huge next step in the process, but it certainly doesn't mean that Miller is now free to take the franchise and do whatever he wants with it. For now, until various deals are worked out behind the scenes, which will likely still take a long time. For starters, owning the original screenplay doesn't mean you own the character of adult Jason Voorhees as we know him, and Miller's ownership of the work only covers domestic rights. The franchise will
Yeah.
remain dormant. So, yeah, but here's hoping we're almost at a point where Jason can return once more. So, it's
Yeah.
still a lot of stuff going on. I understand, and you guys, in the chat or watching the replay, please let us know what you think. My personal opinion, and then I'll get to you, Coriander, is, I understand that Victor Miller wants to make sure that he's, given his just due and so forth, and I get that, I truly do. But at the same time, holding up the franchise for over a decade, it just
That's
seems,
bullshit.
yeah, it just,
Selfish.
he owns the rights to the first movie, right? And the first movie was, obviously a classic. I love the first movie.
Right.
But when
Right.
I think of Friday the 13th, my thoughts always go to adult Jason, and
Exactly.
if he has the rights to the original movie, okay, that's great. If he wants to make a remake of the original movie and maybe add some different things to it, well, that's fine. But how
Mhm.
many times are you going to do that? Once? Okay.
Right.
What do you think of that, Coriander?
I mean, I agree. I mean, it would be kind of interesting to see how his life was up until the day he died, because we haven't seen that. So that would be
Right,
kind of interesting. But like you said, he
right.
could only do that once. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I just think this guy's just, yeah, being selfish, man, holding up shit that is doesn't belong to him. Yeah, I get it. He can take, which he has. He wrote it. He should have the
mhm,
rights to it. I totally agree. But anything after that, he had nothing to do with? Hell no. You know what
right,
I mean?
right, right.
It's
I
stupid
mean,
that
I,
it
I,
was delayed
I
this
mean,
long because of
yeah.
this.
Well, and I know there's a lot of background stuff that we may not be privy to as well. I mean, and I'm sure
Right.
there's been deals that have tried to be worked out and stuff like that. But it's just too bad that they couldn't come to some agreement in the sense of saying, hey, let's give you a nice lump sum for starting this thing off, Victor, and maybe we'll give
Yeah.
you a maybe give you a percentage of whatever we can get from here on out, because the next Friday the 13th movie is going to make money. But
Yeah.
hey, let's just get this thing going and get some movies made
Exactly, man.
and get back to the fans. I mean, really, that that should be the bottom line. But unfortunately, money always rules every decision. Real quick,
Yeah, it
uh,
does.
in the chat, let's see. Junebug was saying the thing about it is Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller need to work out a deal. They each need a studio to give them equal rights to it for both of what they own. Otherwise, we get a Bond versus Bond. Yeah, like when they did Never Say Never Again and Octopussy in the same year. And I think it hurt both movies. You had a Roger Moore 007 and a Sean Connery. I'll never forget that.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
June, June Bug saying scenario. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was talking about. Eric saying maybe Sean can get around it by making Jason movies and not Friday the 13th movies.
Exactly.
Like, well, and I think obviously that's what they did, and I'm assuming what he wants to do is obviously use the title Friday the 13th like they did in the reboot, and I get that because the title is iconic as well. So
But
again, they just
Jason
got.
is more. I mean,
I
the title is the title, but Jason
Yeah,
makes it. The title doesn't.
I
So,
agree. I agree. Jumba saying, here's the other scenario, too, though this lawsuit could have been avoided if Sean Cunningham would have just given Victor the check that he was asking for. That's true too. Give him a nice lump sum of money, you're going to continue to keep making money because this franchise in theory is going to go on, and the merchandising, the video games, and all that type of stuff. It's yeah, it's too bad money is really holding this whole thing up. Eric
Mhm.
saying, I can see Miller's point. It's like Carpenter not really getting residuals for the Halloween sequels. Victor created something and deserved money. Cunningham has plenty. He could have paid him off. And that's true. It's very, very true. And like I said, it's just too bad that they couldn't come to some type of agreement on the money on either side, or maybe they could have done something, kind of like in sports where you have incentives, like give Victor a lump sum and say, hey, if the next couple of movies make X amount of dollars, we'll give you X percentage of that, and so forth.
Mhm.
I just think that there could have been ways through this, and but at least we're here.
Yeah.
This lawsuit is over. I hope that they can, let cooler heads prevail and get something going because, like I said, it's been over a
Yes.
decade,
Too
way too
long.
long.
Too long. Yes.
And here you have, Michael Myers is rocking, rocking
Yeah,
the
he is.
Casbah. You know what I mean? So
Right?
it's like, come on,
It's time
guys,
for
let's get
Jason
this
to
thing
do that, man.
exactly. So, anyways, guys, that's pretty much all we have on this article. Again, if you want to reference it, it's from Bloody Disgusting, and really cool news. And actually, it came out the other day. I thought it was I just found out about it a few hours ago, so I'm behind on it. But hopefully, this is some stuff that will inform you guys as well.
Yeah.
As we start to head on out here, Junebug was saying, if I was the Trump in the scenario, I would say each and every property that we make based on your original screenplay includes video games, movies, toys, etc. You get 10% of the profit. Yeah, that's what I
There
was
you
thinking too,
go.
man. That's what I was
Right.
thinking too. Just give them something, and let them be happy. Eric saying, people seem to keep making Miller the bad guy in this. Sean could have ended it too, pay him something, but that's just me being armchair quarterback. True. I mean,
Yeah.
it, here's my thing, Eric, and I know I said we were about to end it, but here's my thing. Like I said, Victor definitely deserves the credit for his screenplay of the original. He definitely does. But I
Hmm.
also see where Sean is coming from as well, because the franchise went way beyond that first movie. I mean, and
Yeah.
I love the original movie, but and don't get me wrong, I love it, but I don't even, other than certain moments in the movie and the fact that Betsy was so great as Pamela, that's all I really think about them in the movie. And Adrian King is the
Hmm.
final girl. All of my other memories are about the adult Jason, and it
Yes.
became something much bigger than that original movie. But
Yeah, it
again,
did.
Victor
He's just,
deserves the credit for what he
he
did in that
does, but it
original
sounds
movie.
like he's being, yeah, selfish also. Because if you
Right.
think
I
about
mean,
it, did they ever go back to him and get like guidance from him for anything else beyond
uh,
one?
I think he helped with part two. He might have thrown some ideas out. I can't remember that exactly. But I mean,
Okay.
bottom line, you basically have
So,
his
yeah,
his one movie versus 10 other movies. You see what I'm
exactly.
saying? So,
Yeah.
again, Sean probably could have just said, "Hey, man, let's just cut him whatever check he wants," and it would have been over. But he's a
But
businessman
it's
too.
taken
So
from Sean's profits that he created himself, you know what I mean? So it's I'd be fighting for that too, you know?
true,
Maybe that's
true.
wrong, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
want someone trying to take money that I made because, I continued it, you know what I mean? And did it my way, not your way.
right.
So,
Eric was saying true, but no Victor, no sequels. Well, that's true too. You know. So I mean, like I said, this is why it's an interesting argument, and both sides, have something to say in it. At the end of the day, both sides could make money if they just figure out
yeah,
a way
man.
to meet in the middle. Because, like I said, the next Friday the 13th movie is gonna make money. It's gonna
Yeah.
make money. So
Uh,
I just hope. But like I said, Victor did the first movie, and yeah, that's fine. But anything beyond that, which has been another 10 sequels and a brand new iteration of Jason, I think
mm,
for him, like I said, they got to work together. It's yeah. Eric says Definitely a Deadly Venoms discussion. Yeah, we could talk about that because, like I said, this is news that just broke, man. It really just broke recently. So that would definitely be a good idea for our next super stream, which is going to be this Thursday coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This
So,
Thursday?
anyways, guys, this
Damn.
Thursday coming up. Yeah, time
Okay.
flies, man. Oh, we got the
That's
Wolfman.
crazy.
He just jumped in the chat saying, "Hey everyone," and
Hello.
also saying, "This is huge news." It is, man. I
Yes.
was hoping that people, especially from our horror community, would definitely check this out or join the discussion about this because to me it is huge news.
It
You know, I had
is.
really,
Yes, it's
I
so
had really,
exciting.
yeah, I had really been in a holding pattern with this, so to speak. I just kind of didn't really think much about Friday the 13th because I didn't want to get so upset that there weren't any new movies being made, and
Yeah.
focusing
The
my
future's
attention on
looking
things like
bright.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Wolfman saying, hopefully this means the game can also get more content because that was so fun. Yeah, that's a good point too. There are a lot of fans of the game and stuff like that too. So this is holding up a lot of stuff, man. They just got to
Mm-hmm.
come to an agreement that everybody can make some money, and fans of the franchise in the different mediums, they can definitely enjoy it again. So I hope it does happen soon,
Me
and it
too.
looks
Me
like
too.
it looks like it might. It looks like it might. So, anyways, guys, please give the video a like. It will help support the channel, and also leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys think about the lawsuit being over, what the next steps may be, what you're hoping for, and yeah, we can have a discussion about it there too. Junebug was saying in our horror community, we have my permission to troll the internet and say hashtag Junebug for part 13. I
Nice.
like that. That's a good hashtag, man. All right, guys. We will catch you guys later. Take it easy. Have a good Saturday. If you're if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you're on the Night Watch. Peace out, guys.
Apchichkanamil.